All right, give me a thumbs up. I need to know if our audio is working, so please give me a thumbs up on that. I'm going to go ahead and wait to see if our audio is working. How's our audio doing? Can somebody give me a thumbs up, please? Can you hear me? Okay, everybody can hear me. Good, good. I'm gonna go. I gotta go over here and turn this light off. Hang on. Let's all settle down and let's get in shape. We got a long situation here, and it's not good. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. We're going to leave that screen up because we're going to look at that in a minute. We got something else to look at. We're going to go over here. And hang on one second. Can everybody see that right there? Can everybody see that action? Yes or no? All right, hang on a minute. Hang on one second. I want to make sure that I can see myself. Okay, let's go back here. And we're going to look at this right here. Now, this is what we're talking about today, right here. This is it. This is a 1955 Volkswagen Beetle. I want you to look at that very close as I zoom the pictures down. I'm going to take the camera off in a minute. We're going to get a little bit closer. What you are looking at is a restoration of a Volkswagen Beetle. Restoration. This is not a paint job. This is not a scuff and paint acrylic enamel paint job. This is a total restoration. This is, I'm going to go ahead and say it, concourse restoration. The pictures you're looking at are pictures, detailed pictures, of a Volkswagen Beetle that was battered, tattered, beat to shit, wrecked on every four corners, front, back, sides. You can see in the pictures the type of extreme bodywork that I'm doing to this. I'm using a stud gun to pull dents out. This door is extremely totaled. Glance at the pictures as we go down the line. Look at the bodywork on that door. Look at that. This is called a metal file. this front corner section got T-boned. It was completely totaled out. Somebody had leaded that in. It was leaded in at one time. And here I am using my metal files, hammers and dollies, straighten it out. Here we are using a slap hammer, trying to get all of this, because it was T-boned right here as well. It was T-boned in that section too. So now we get into the bodywork. You see the bodywork I'm doing. You see the extensive block sanding. Has anybody noticed that I stripped this car back down to bare metal? Let me take this back up. This is what it looked like when I got it. Look at that picture. That's what it looked like when I picked it up, right there. This is what it looked like when I picked it up, right there. Hang on, right there. That's what that car looked like, right there. When I rolled into my shop, that's what the car looked like. This is where I just got back from picking the car up, going to the guy's house and picking the car up and bringing it back to my, there it is at the guy's house, loaded up and ready to bring back. So, everything that you see here, I had to completely strip this car back down to bare metal. When I say back down, he actually had it blasted. He had the car blasted. He decided to take it upon himself and do body work to the car. I told him from the beginning when I first started talking to him, do not do any body work. Leave the car alone. Just let me do it. And if you want to get in line, get in line. Leave it alone. Do not touch the bar. He did not listen to me. He decided to go ahead and do body work. When I picked the car up, he also told me that when they stripped it down, it had almost an inch thick of Bondo paint, spray-on Bondo, and everything else that you can imagine. Can you see the door behind me? Do you see that? That's the customer's body work. That's his body work that I stripped off the car. You can see where I'm lining up the body lines because he had so much Bondo, over-exaggerated, extremely thick Bondo that he couldn't even line the doors up properly. He was putting Bondo over here, then it was too thick, so he added Bondo over here. Then he had it so thick that it was like a 1/4 inch thick of Bondo on both. So there it is where I lined the doors up and got everything perfectly lined up with no fucking Bondo. Here's where the apron on his vehicle was crushed and dented, bashed in, rotted, ripped, and torn to pieces. I told him, you need to replace it. No, I don't want to replace it. It's not in my budget. I can't replace it. Okay, I'll fix it. So here I am. That's where I got done fixing it, right there. All right. Several days dicking around with that, stroking my ass with fucking welding wire. Here I am doing the body work down on the ground. Here we go. Here we go. This is the roof of the car after I stripped it. Here I am doing body work, pulling dents out with my electronic dent puller on the hood. Doing major restoration body work. Remember that word, people, concourse restoration. This is a complete overall picture of what it looked like after all the fucking body work and all of the dent removal was done right before primer. This is what the car looked like before primer. You can see by looking at the car that I did extensive hammer and dolling, dent pulling, and bodywork to the car to use minimal body filler on this fucking car. What you're looking at took me approximately 2 months, 2.5 months, every fucking day working on this car. 7 days a week, almost 2 fucking months, maybe more. Let's not forget the gas tank in the fucking car. We're going to get to that. So, that's what you're going to see on my website. If you get on my website, that's what you will see. I'm going to put the camera back up here. And we're going to get to the point here in a minute. Okay? We're going to get to the point of this video here in a second. This is called, what you are looking at here is a concourse restoration. Not a paint job. Anybody that owns their fucking own business here and does paint and body for a living, I want to know what you would call this type of work that I'm doing right here. What is this type of work? Would you call this a paint job, or would you call this a restoration? Please let me know in the comments below. I'm going to X out of that. And now we're going to go over here. We're not ready for that yet, but we will be. Trust me. I got more pictures here, people. A lot more pictures. I got over 250, 375, 400 pictures of this car. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. We're going to go ahead and look at some of these pictures. We're going to go ahead and scan through them. There you go. Okay, these aren't in order, but we're going to go ahead and scan through them and just kind of randomly look at them as I talk. So when I met this guy, he told me he had a Volkswagen Beetle. I started my business way back when I was a teenager. I started my future in automotive restoration, automotive mechanics, automotive paint and body, automotive everything with Volkswagen Beetles. I had my own Volkswagen junkyard. Do you believe that my friend Pete actually had a Volkswagen junkyard with over 275 cars? Oh, I'm sorry, and buses. Oh, I'm sorry, and Carmen Gias. And Type 3s and Type 4s and every fucking Volkswagen that you can imagine. Yeah, I had that. So I am very familiar and knowledgeable about Volkswagens, especially Beetles. So the owner of this car, he calls me up. I'm sorry, that's a beautiful scenery where me and Minnie went out and I took that picture. Let's get past this, because we don't want to bring any good stuff into this story. We don't want to do that. This is Christmas. We're randomly going through them here. There's Minnie over there working on it. This is probably on a fucking Sunday or Saturday. I believe what we're doing here is taping it off and getting it ready for paint. Yeah, there you go. Wow, that stuff's painted. Looks fucking beautiful, doesn't it? So I met this guy, and I said, give me some back history on your bug. What's going on? Well, it's a 55 Beetle. It's a beautiful car. I had it sandblasted or soda blast, whatever the fuck he had blasted, wet blasted. And I need to buy some epoxy primer. I said, okay, this is the brand that I use. You live in a major giant fucking city. Can you go find that brand? No, I can't find that brand anywhere. Can you mail it to me? You want me to mail you some epoxy primer in the mail? I did not want to do that. I didn't want to do that. So I go ahead and mail the guy epoxy primer. Now I'm helping him out. He's giving me a little history of his life. I was a heavy equipment operator. I got major back damage. I've had multiple surgeries. I'm disabled. Blah, 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 blah. You know, going on with the whole story. So I get to know this guy. And I'm talking to him on the phone. I get to know him. And he wants me to go ahead. This is a double clear job. This is where I sprayed the inner coat clear on it, and then I let it dry. And then I'll come back and color sand that, and then put the 3 coats of the top clear on it. This is our double clear job. So anyway, I talked to him, and to make a long story short, I get to know him, and he wants me to restore his bug. Now, according to him, I didn't restore it. According to the owner, I didn't restore his car. I only painted it. That's all I did. I only painted it. Yeah, I just scuffed it down and painted it. I didn't restore it. I didn't do anything to it. So anyway, he tells me right off the bat he's on a budget, but this is the situation, but the car is in pretty good shape. I got brand new fenders. I got another hood that is in great shape, and we're going to get to the hood in a minute. It's got a little damage on the deck lid. He didn't mention anything about the roof. The roof was worse than my Maxwell bug when it got crushed by a tree. That roof was the killer on this job. That was it, the roof. So, to make a long story short, he kept telling me about his budget. I got a budget. How much to pay? I don't know how much. How can I tell you how much I'm going to pay your car? I've never seen your car, sir. Well, give me a ballpark figure, something. I went ahead and told him where my paint jobs start. How much my paint jobs start on a vehicle like his. I finally met up with him in person, and he says, "You told me this is how much of bullshit. I never told you that's how much it was. I told you that's where it started." Here's where I'm painting it. You can see I'm busting my ass. It's a beautiful car. Now, beautiful car. So he goes, I go to his house to pick the car up. We're looking at the car, and it is nothing. Okay? Let me show you. I got to do this, and I'm going to tell you why I'm doing this. All right? I'm going to tell you why I'm doing this. All right? Because the car that he explained to me, and here's the car again, it was nothing like he told me or explained to me what the car was before I saw the car. I'm visualizing brand new fenders on it. I'm visualizing a hood that's in mint condition. I'm visualizing doors and corner panels that are in great shape. I'm visualizing a deck lid that needs minor work. When I get to his house, this is what I'm looking at. This is it. Then he finally tells me that the top, a tree fell on the top, and that the top is riddled with hail damage and hammer dings, or whatever he said. Don't quote me word for word, okay? Don't do that. I do have a video, several videos of picking this fucking car up at his house. So I go to his house and I get the car, and I kind of give him a random price, how much to paint it. I explained to him that I have to remove all this fucking shit that you put on here. It has to all be removed, everything. He gives me a story how he called the company up on the fenders, and the company where he bought the fenders said, "You have to remove our epoxy primer that we put on the fenders." I've never heard that before in my life. Never. I've never heard that you had to use the etch primer of aftermarket fender. You had to remove it, or The Fender's a piece of shit. These brand new Fenders, by the way, are like $500 a piece. And the body work that I did to those Fenders, I did more body work to those Fenders than I would have done to a used pair of Fenders. I did more body work to these fucking Fenders than I would have done, I'm going to say it again, to a used pair of Fenders. But I went ahead and did it. I got the car in primer. Look at all the body work on these Fenders. Look at this shit. These are brand new Fenders, folks. These are brand new fucking Fenders. Brand new Fenders that I had to do all this body work to. The hood, he got that from somebody else. I recommended him to get it. When we got it, the bodywork was in good condition. But the situation about the hood, I don't like to paint on top of other people's bodywork. I told him it has to be sandblasted. He argued with me. That's not in my budget. I said, your Fenders, I am going to have them wet blasted because you have this idea that the paint has to come off. I went ahead and had that done too. We had his gas tank sandblasted. We had the deck lid sandblasted. Then I had to hand strip the rest of the fucking car because he did body work to it and he put some oddball, out of whack, fucking, I don't know what the hell primer it was. It's this shit that you see inside the car here, made by Raptor Liner. And he had that on the whole car. I explained to him, it has to be removed. Whatever it takes, Pete, whatever you got to do, just do it. Go ahead. But I got a budget. He insisted on this budget until I was purple in the fucking face and could not sleep at night over this fucking budget bullshit. Let's get back to these pictures here. And we're going to be randomly looking at these, and I'm going to keep talking about this car. When I got the car in primer, let me go ahead and hang on one second. Here we are. Let's go to these pictures. This is where they're at. I got so many pictures on this fucking thing that it's like totally fucking insane. I got pictures on this that like exceed taking pictures, and I'm going to tell you another reason why. Okay? So here's some pictures that I'm getting ready to upload on my... All right? Here is after the first block sanding and reprime. Now, I had to use super build on the roof and the trunk lid. I used polyester primer on the fenders. It was an extended, extreme necessary thing. This had to be done. There it is in the final prime, ready to paint. When I got it to that stage, I was so fed up, I could not sleep at night. My nerves were fucking shot over this fucking budget shit. I called the owner up and I said, you need to come get your car. You don't owe me any fucking money. Come get your car and get it off my property. I don't want to do it. I don't want to. All you talk about is a budget. That's it. You are on a budget, a fixed income. You cannot afford this. You can't afford that. We're going to go out in the shop in a minute. I'm going to show you what he wanted me to do. Randomly threw it in, thought it was part of the fucking job. But, so we took the estimate that I gave him, the invoice. I finally agreed to him because he was like kind of begging me, no, please, Pete, don't do it. Don't. I want you to finish my car. I won't ever mention budgets again. If you want me to pay you all your money up front, I'll give it all to you right now. I'll go to the bank and just give you all your money up front right now. I don't take money up front, people. $12,000 is just paint. There you go. I like that comment. $23,000. I want everybody to leave comments. How much would you paint this car for? After looking at all the shit that I've done in 6 months on this, the only car that I've worked on in 6 fucking months, I want you to tell me, give me prices of what you would charge if you had a shop. He begs me, let me pay you all your money now. I'll give you all your money. I don't want your money. I don't work that way. I get to a certain stage and then you give me some money. $20,000, $18,000. I hope the owner's watching. $15,000. I hope the owner's watching this. I texted him and told him that I'm going live. $25,000 plus materials. I hope he's watching this. I'm going to tell you how much I did this fucking car for. I'm going to go ahead and tell you. You will fucking laugh at me. Okay? You will fucking laugh when you see what the bottom line on this fucking car is. I normally don't do this. I don't share business with people. But on this particular job, I will go ahead and do it. And I'm going to tell you why I'm doing this. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and explain it to you. Why I'm doing this. Okay. Are y'all sitting down? Is everybody sitting down? Because I'm going to tell you exactly how much money he has spent on this fucking car at my friend Pete's Southwest fucking Rod and Custom to do a concourse restoration, not a fucking paint job. Overall paint and body, $5,690. R&R body panels and a line, $150. Paint supplies, $2,160. Pickup charges, which he extremely got very upset about, $700 for me to go pick his car up and bring it back to my shop. Sandblast charge. I didn't make no money on that. This is how much the guy charged. $260. Remove Bondo charge. Extreme. I started out, let me tell you the story on this. I started out at $250. I called him on the phone and said, I have used $335 worth of materials to remove all that shit that you put on there. I'm going to charge you $335 plus some labor, which comes to $500. Metal repair on front apron. Are you sitting down? Let me explain this. 5.25 hours. 5.25 hours at $65 an hour. I charge, this is what my regular rates are that I charge. I charge $80 to $100 an hour, depending on what the job is, on metal rust repair. With his stories of this, that, and the other, and blah, 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 I said, I'll help you out. I'll only charge you $65. I went ahead and had to get, I wasn't planning on doing polyester primer and super build primer and all that shit. I went ahead and I told him, we need this primer. I'm going to have to add it. I'm not putting it in with the fucking deal. It's not happening. So I ended up buying 1 gallon of polyester primer, 2 gallons of super build. I actually only used 1.5 gallons. So I will do this guy a favor and I will not charge him a full gallon because he's on a budget. So I will knock that down to half of that. I ended up using a lot more excessive body shop paint supplies. And we're talking Bondo, polyester filler, 2K primer. You know, you got the fucking shit going. I told him I'm going to give you an upcharge on the paint supplies of $228.37. I'm not ripping anybody off here, people. I'm not fucking anybody around. I'm not screwing this fucking guy. He's getting a concourse restoration. You're going to really flip when I tell you the rest of the story. I added 6.7 hours at $65 to the fucking roof. The roof of this car was completely a nightmare, totaled out fucking joke. It was nothing like he said it was. I ended up working on the roof of that car for 2.5 fucking weeks. The roof only. Only the roof. I went ahead and upcharged him 6.75 hours more. So that was only $438. Because I only charged him $65. I gave him 2002 prices. Because he's on a fucking budget. Double clear. Anybody that watched the videos, by the way, I've taken all the videos of this car off of my YouTube channels. Anybody that saw that I did a double clear job. Yes, and I explained in the video, I charge extra for that. Okay, $1,500. The bottom line, this is what he spent out the door, and when you see the car, you're going to shit your pants and might have a heart attack. $12,664.06. He is furiously mad because it's not under his budget. He is upset because it's over his fucking budget. Do you see the situation here? Like I said, I don't share prices. I don't share shit with people. Okay? I don't do that, but on this particular job I am. Let's go ahead and go back to these pictures. Here I am. I think I'm putting epoxy primer on the car. Black epoxy primer. I worked on this car for 6 fucking months. There was only, there was a week. I think 2 weeks I didn't work. Yeah, 2 weeks on the fucking roof. 2 fucking solid weeks on the roof, exactly. I think there was a week and a half or 2 weeks I didn't work on it because I wanted all that fucking primer to dry. So I went ahead and let his car sit, and I worked on the Mustang. That's the only thing I've worked on since his car's been here. Here's where I'm putting the epoxy on. Beautiful car. Look at the roof on that car. Look how nice, and you can see the sheen. Look at the sheen in the primer. Look at the shine. Do you see how block sanded that? That motherfucker's block sanded. Okay, you can go snow skiing on that fucking roof. That's how smooth that fucking roof is. All right? I think this is still epoxy. There you go. That's epoxy primer. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and pass up. Here's a beautiful situation. We don't want to talk about that. It's not beautiful today. There ain't nothing motherfucking beautiful today, bitch. Okay, here's where I'm doing the double clear job. Everybody saw that. Yakety yak. I'm getting the doors ready to paint here. All right? I primed these motherfucking doors inside and out. There I am sanding the fucking doors. Here I am block sand, getting it to block sand. Beautiful fucking job. All right? Here's where I wet sanded the car on the double clear. That's my first wet sand. I want everybody to look at that fucking roof. Look at it. 2 weeks. 7 fucking days a week. 14, 16 hours a day working on that fucking roof. I don't even want to tell you about the doors, the corners of each corner, the fuck down here. I don't want to talk about that. I just want to let you know about the roof. All right? We got a situation that says, here we go. Now I'm buffing it. Looky here. I'm buffing this. Look at how shiny that roof is. Look at that. It's beautiful. Look at it. Gosh, look at that. You fucking believe this shit? But he says it ain't a concourse restoration. He said all I did was paint it. That's it. I just painted it. That's all I did. I just painted that motherfucker. I just painted it. That's all. Of course, I got some videos there. I want to show everybody this. And then I'm going to have to change my cameras. My battery's going dead. We're going to have to make a part two on this. This is notes that I put on my receipts. At the bottom of that note, and this is for every motherfucker that I do business for. Every fucking motherfucker that I do business for. And if I have your car at my shop, or I worked on your car, painted your car, I want you to leave a comment on this and let me know how you feel about it. The very last thing on that son of a bitch right there, this is what it says. It says, owner of said above vehicle is to make payments upon request via bank transfer, payout to Southwest Paint and Body. Did you hear that? Upon request, you are to send me my money that I request, because I am self-employed. I work for a living. I need my money when I say I need it. I don't ask for money all the time. But when I need my money, I fucking need it for my bills. I've got to change phones. So you'll have to go ahead. I got to put my other phone wherever the fuck it went. Here it is. The battery's dead on this phone. I'm going to change phones. Sit tight. Stay where you're at. We're coming up on part two right now.